Yo, make sure you got your paperwork straight. I got Mickey the Truth.
Let's get one thing clear. This your girl, Mickey Truth. South Carolina, 803 to be exact. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, aka the Queen of Paperwork, and I am back with another video. As always, all information contained in this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. All information used in this video is per the Fair Use Act, and any conclusion that you draw is on you, not me. So,
the loudest is the weakest. Give a fuck about what they scream.
All right, Truth Team. So a new document was filed today, actually, for Alicia Andrews, one of the defendants in the murder case of rapper Julio Foolio. Okay, and it's defendant's motion to compel further investigation into other suspects, the abusive relationship, and other unexplored evidence. I'm like, ooh, it's 5 pages, but it sounds like it's juicy. Okay. So it says, of course, comes now defendant Alicia Andrews through the counsel, but let's just get into it. All right. Number 1, failure to investigate other suspects. During interviews with the victim's girlfriend, the Tampa Police Department admitted to monitoring the victim's social media stories, including a flyer he posted for a party in Tampa weeks before the incident. Multiple individuals commented on this flyer, warning him about his many enemies, how he could be harmed if he attended. Most of the people with the victim of the night of the incident also traveled from Jacksonville to Tampa. The narrative that the victim was followed solely by Alicia Andrews and her co-defendants is therefore misleading. Furthermore, individuals who were with the victim did not fully cooperate during brief interviews at the scene. Despite the lies and inconsistencies in their statements, law enforcement did not conduct further interviews or obtain written statements with anyone. Before they even had any type of leads in the case, they were already telling everyone that they were not in trouble and would not be further investigated. This lack of follow-up investigation is concerning, especially when these individuals were in close proximity to the victim at the critical moments the entire night and over the weekend. Many of the individuals interviewed also either had warrants and violent history. Many were also carrying weapons on their person or in their vehicle during the incident as well. As established in Cowles versus Whitley, the prosecution has a duty to discover and disclose any evidence that might be favorable to the defendant. Here, law enforcement failure to investigate other suspects who may have had motive and traveled with the victim, coupled with their decision not to pursue additional questioning despite the obvious lies and coy responses, constitutes a significant omission. This violates the duty to ensure that all potential exculpatory evidence is considered. Wow. Wow. They like, yo, how you gonna say these defendants did it when you never even looked into the obvious suspects, which were the people with Julio Foolio, although 2 of them got shot. But you know, I mean, it's stretch, but it's kind of hey, it makes sense as they worded. Number 2, victims' own expression of fear and distrust. Distrust, they did the different way a minute ago. But anyway, in the weeks leading up to his death, the victim posted on social media about feeling unsafe and betrayed by those around him. He described his generation as untrustworthy and expressed fear of being backstabbed. Additionally, music released posthumously, and I know I said that wrong, but y'all know I'll be cutting up sometimes. Anyway, referenced the victim's distrust of those closest to him. Oh, shit. While these public statements don't directly implicate any individuals, they reflect a broader atmosphere of mistrust and potential betrayal from within the victim's inner circle. Law enforcement failed to consider these statements in their investigation, which could suggest involvement by individuals other than Alicia Andrews and her co-defendant. According to Brady versus Maryland, the state must disclose exculpatory evidence, including any evidence that might suggest an Alternative theory of the crime. By ignoring the victim's statements about mistrust and fear, law enforcement overlooked potential exculpatory evidence that could have expanded the investigation beyond its narrow focus and accused. All right, Alicia Andrews' lawyer, like, yo, she got a baby coming. She got to get home, okay? For all we know, it was an inside job. I mean, that's what they saying. I ain't said it, okay? 3, abusive relationship between Alicia Andrews and co-defendant. Alicia Andrews was in an abusive relationship with one of her co-defendants, a fact known to law enforcement, but not fully explored during the investigation. This relationship involved physical abuse and emotional manipulation, which likely influenced her actions on the night of the incident. The dynamics of this relationship are critical to understanding Alicia's role, if any, as her alleged involvement may have been coerced or under duress and fear. However, the state has not investigated how this abuse may have affected her ability to act freely or make independent decisions. This failure has resulted in a one-sided narrative that omits key factors essential to her defense. Now, I will say this, because I always said she was really not needed if the storyline is correct, because like she was just along for the ride. So I don't know. That seemed like that might be on to something now. Is it enough to be capital murder? I don't know. Number 4, timeline and vehicle movement discrepancies. The state's theory that Alicia Andrews and her co-defendants were following the victim is contradicted by video evidence and witness statements. Surveillance footage shows that the victim and his friends performed a loop around the building several minutes before anyone else arrived. The victim's group had been parked for some time before the alleged perpetrator's vehicles arrived at the scene. Moreover, a witness reported that the victim was not being followed at all, further weakening the state's narrative of continuous pursuit. If the decision to go to the hotel was made at last minute, as evidence suggests, it would have been impossible for the accused to know the victim's exact location at the time of the incident. Hey, what they say? Backdoor type situation? Oh, this lawyer good. I ain't gonna lie. Under Terry versus Ohio, reasonable officers are required to investigate further when faced with inconsistency or suspicious circumstances. The failure to exploit these timeline discrepancies in the movements of both the victim and the accused vehicles raises serious concerns about the adequacy of the investigation. Now, I don't know if it's enough, like I said, to drop the charge, but it's definitely a good argument. Number 5, unexplored behavior of witnesses. Several individuals present at the scene, many of whom were close to the victim, provided inconsistent statements during their brief interviews with law enforcement. Notably, the individuals associated with Foolio were caught lying during these interviews. Despite these lies and inconsistencies, law enforcement failed to conduct follow-up interviews or additional questioning. This lack of further inquiry is troubling, especially since these individuals may have had motives or information relevant to the case. Their proximity to the victim makes them potential suspects, yet law enforcement overlooked their potential involvement. And case law, as highlighted in Strickler versus Green, material evidence must be disclosed if could reasonably affect the outcome of the case. By failing to investigate the inconsistent statements of key witnesses, the state may have missed critical evidence that could exonerate Alicia Andrews or point to other suspects. Hey, they say that baby coming in February. Number 6, failure to investigate social media warnings. The victim's social media pages contain multiple public warnings from individuals threatening harm if he attended the party. Despite these warnings, law enforcement focused exclusively on Alicia Andrews and her co-defendants. ignoring potential suspects who had both the motive and the opportunity to commit the crime. 7, misrepresentation to the media. Law enforcement has provided a one-sided narrative to the media, focusing solely on the 5 arrested individuals. This narrative ignores many unexplored avenues of investigation, particularly the involvement of others who were with the victim at the time of the incident and those who traveled from Jacksonville to Tampa that weekend. Wherefore, the defendant respectfully requests that this court order the state to conduct further investigation into the individuals who traveled to Tampa from Jacksonville and were with the victim, the abusive relationship between Alicia Andrews and her co-defendant, the movements and actions of other vehicles and individuals present with the victim on the night of the incident, the inconsistent statements and behavior of witnesses who were close to the victim, and their potential involvement as suspects. Hey, say, do your job. And that's the end of that document. As y'all can see, baby. Hey, my thoughts on this is it's definitely it's a good motion for sure. It got some key points. However, I'm still not convinced it's strong enough to like get any charges dismissed. However, I'm intrigued to know what either the response to this from the state is going to be and what the ruling on it is going to be, because it seemed like Alicia Andrews is saying Julio Foolio was backdoor. Now, I ain't say it. This motion said it. With that being said, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Until next time, I'm out. And like I said throughout the video, that's my opinion. And if you don't like it, guess what?
I'm like, fuck yeah.
Hold on, wait, before I go, y'all make sure y'all tap in with me to book your slot. A lot of y'all be hitting me up on Instagram and the email wanting to just talk about content, whether you're an up-and-coming content creator or somebody just got questions about cases or whatever. Book your consultation with me now. The information is on the screen. Hey, make sure you get your slot, because my slots be filling up fast.
Loudest is the weakest, give a fuck about what they scream.
Holla!
Shout out Mickey. Mickey, you gonna be big. Like,
yeah,
I'm
trying to conquer the world. Coming from where I come from. They doubted me, but I came up.